Hello, welcome back to Google Ads for Total Beginners 2020. This is part three. What does a campaign do, and what does it let you control? So I talked a little bit about campaigns in the previous video. I'm going to go into a little bit more depth here. So as I said in the previous video, the main purpose of a campaign is to achieve a certain objective, right? So if I want people to book a call with me so that I can coordinate them hiring one of my virtual assistants with my virtual assistant company. That is my objective with this campaign. That's kind of the overarching goal that I want to accomplish, and that's the kind of stuff that you can control at the campaign level. So within each different level of your campaigns, at the campaign level, at the ad group level, and at the ad level, you can control different pieces um, of your campaigns. And so stuff that you can control at the campaign level applies to everything within it. So, for example, my location targeting, I can target specific locations um, where I want my ads to show up, and that is going to affect my ad groups and my ads. Um, Likewise, so it's a cascading kind of a thing. Whereas with if I'm changing certain controls at the ad group level, let's say the my maximum cost per click bid, which I will get into in a later lesson, that's only going to affect that ad group and the ads within that ad group. It won't affect the campaign because it's under the campaign. And then finally, things that you can control at the ad level. So, for example, the URL where the ad points to when somebody clicks on it, that's only affecting the ad. That's not going to affect the ad group or the campaign. So at the campaign level, that's kind of a global level, and it gives you um, a few kind of big picture strategy type controls, and I'm going to go through those. So the first thing that you can control at the campaign level is your bid strategy. And I'm going to go into bid strategy in a later lesson, but essentially, Google gives you multiple what are called bid strategies to give you control over how you spend money on every click. Okay, so Google Ads has a very complex underlying algorithm that will show your ads or won't show your ads based on many different variables. But one of those variables is what your bid strategy is. The most common and most well known being maximum cost per click bidding, which means that you set a maximum bid that you are willing to pay for a click. So let's say if I'm willing to pay a maximum of $3 for any click, then Google won't charge me any more than $3. Usually it'll be less than that, but it won't charge me any more than $3 for a click. So if because the way that the Google Ads system works is it's an auction basically, and that's it. You can get really into the weeds with that. It doesn't really matter. But basically, what's happening all under the hood, you're not actually controlling any of this yourself, is that you are competing with other advertisers for space on the Google search result page, and whoever there's multiple factors that go into whose ads will show first, or in what order or whatever, but one of those factors is your bid. So if somebody has a higher bid for you and you're both bidding for the same spot, um, all other things being equal, if their bid is higher, they're going to get that spot. So for example, if they have a higher minimum bid, if they're willing to spend $5 for a click, and you're only willing to spend $3, their ad is going to show up there because Google can get more money from them. But that's a good thing because you don't want to be spending too much money on ads. Obviously, at a certain point, you can spend a certain amount that it becomes unprofitable for you. So anyway, again, I'll go more into the specific bid strategies later on. But that's one of the things you can control at the campaign level, is how you specifically want to bid on searches. Um, the next thing that you can change is your location. Okay, so many, most local service-based businesses or even retail or restaurants or whatever, they can only really serve kind of a local geographic region. So it wouldn't make sense if I have, let's say, I'm a plumber in Portland, Oregon. It wouldn't make sense if people who are in New York City, New York, who are searching for plumbers for my ads to show up, right? Because there's no way I'm going to go and serve somebody out in New York. And so if you're targeting the United States as a whole, anybody searching from anywhere in the country can trigger your ads to show up. And if they click on your ad, you're paying for that click. And that click is never going to result in them hiring you. It just doesn't make sense, right? So you can tell Google Ads, only show my ads if somebody is searching for my plumbing services, only show my ads to people within my local geographic region. Um, and That's just a really important thing, and that is one of the other things that you can control at the campaign level. That means that all of the ads within that campaign will be restricted to the location boundary that you set. Um, and then finally, the last thing that you can control is your daily budget. And that is basically how much you want to spend on average per day on your campaign. And you can honestly spend as little or as much as you want. You can spend as little as $1 a day, which probably wouldn't get you anywhere really, because most clicks tend to cost more than that. But you can spend all the way up to $10,000 a day. It just depends on how many people are searching, and if there's enough people searching for your keywords that you can spend that much. So yeah, the things you can control at the campaign level are your bid, your location, and your daily budget. There are more, but those are the main ones that you need to be aware of when you're starting out. The other things are kind of getting into the weeds and a little bit more technical, and they're not necessary for you to be able to start building good campaigns. Right, so that is part 3. In the next part 4, we're going to be talking about what does an ad group do and what it lets you control as well. So I will see you in the next video.